Hello and welcome back, internet friends. Cheers to you. Thanks for following Project Garage. This has been a really fun adventure as we build my dream car with the help of my best friends, a 1990 911 964 C4 that we're converting to a wide body off-road adventure vehicle. So if you've ever been involved in any sort of project vehicle, I don't care if it's a bicycle, a motorcycle, or some old jalopy you found in a backyard, you're probably used to scouring the internet for all sorts of cool inspiration. And I'm certainly no different. I am pretty much, I feels like I'm spending all my free time looking at inspiration on Instagram and car sites for some of the coolest Safari 911 builds out there. And so the gentleman we're about to interview, Agostino, has been an incredible inspiration for Project Winston. Actually, he has half a dozen 964s that he has built up on the side while running a vineyard in Italy, and he takes them on some of the most extreme endurance rallies around the world. He just did the Tunisia Desert Challenge, and he just is about to do the Dakar. And his story is wild, and he's such an interesting fellow. I hope you really enjoy what goes into building some of the most cool, capable off-road 911s in the world. Agostino, really nice to meet you. I'm super excited about what you've done with your cars, and I wanted everybody and myself to learn more about you and what you do. So you are in the wine business. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yes. Hello, Douglas, first of all, and thank you for asking me some question about cars and about my personal life, which I more than happy to share with you and all of the people that are will follow this conversation. So first of all, yes, I'm a wine maker. I have a winery, and the winery goes back a few generations. It means that my family is working in the wine business since 300 or 400 years, something like this. So it's really an ancient property, and we together with my brother we take care of that. So my main job is winemaking, and I do sell in the States as well.
You're a Porsche lover. How did you get into choosing a 911 as an adventure vehicle? That's very random, right? Normally you would get a Land Rover or some sort of off-road vehicle. Why did you choose the 911?
Well, let's begin in that way. You know that here in Italy we had um, we have Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, and all these big brands. And I started with the 911 because we're very close with Germany, especially the place I live. We have plenty of relationships, business-wise and also vacation-wise, because they're coming. Plenty of Germans come here to the lake for vacation. So I had a kind of good relationship with Germany, and since the beginning, although I love a Ferrari, but I said, okay, Germans are doing the things properly, so 911 is an option to do the off-road, especially because they did the Dakar in 83, 84, 86. So there is a history of off-roading a Porsche 911.
How long ago? When did you get your first 964 that you turned into an off-road vehicle?
Well, I didn't have the whole family, happy for this for this idea. So really started with when I had the money to do it, and this was 16, 7 years old. I was working in the company. I had some money, and at that time, the 911, especially the 964, were quite cheap because they were absolutely underrated. So I said, okay, let's start with the 964, and let's follow my dream. Let's see if we can, transform a road-going Carrera 4 in a kind of Land Rover or a Geländewagen, as they say in Germany.
Yeah.
An off-road vehicle. It's in fact it's a dark gray or a
Yes,
slate
that one.
gray, sure you know
Yes.
the color. And yeah, that's it. So it started like that, and the car is still there. It's still running strong, and now it's also the test car for some parts I using in racing. So that car, it's painted, in Steve McQueen's 911 colors, the slate gray non-metallic, which is a beautiful color. I'm in love with it.
It's a beautiful car. In fact, I was very I saw your car was that gray one was one of the first ones I saw that I fell in love with when I first got this 964, that I was like, oh, I was very inspired by your builds. So you built this car, you had this dream, but you're busy with work. How did you get into rally racing? How did you want to get into desert racing and Dakar? You're a crazy person. How did this happen?
So, well, I've started when I was 18 in doing hill climb racing. So, these short, fast, very fast races that were cost effective because you only do, the race is only 3 to 10 kilometers, which in miles is, let's say, 5 to 10 miles maximum.
Yeah.
And you drive as fast as you can. And, this was, for me, was the first approach to the racing world, because I had no background in racing. It was all done by with my dream, it was feeded by a dream. So I started with this, and after a while I gained some knowledge, because you throw money left and right, you gain knowledge by making mistake. So I made a lot of mistakes, especially when I started. And then the idea started with this adventurous project, which never happened, because when I built the car, this 964, and this was 15 years ago, I decided to try the car and go to Tunisia, which is a close country to Italy. We just crossed the Mediterranean Sea, so it's an overnight boat journey. I went to Tunisia and I tried the car, and I remember perfectly because it was I took out the car of the track at 11 o'clock night, so it was dark already. End of December, because I did my vacation there to test the car. I took it down off the truck, offloading the truck, and I took a local guide, which I'm still in contact with, and we went trying this car, and it was so incredibly effective, not fast, effective on the sand, on the gravel, on the rock. I have the first pictures of that car on the dune are amazing, because the car could do incredible things because it's light. First of all, it's a 4-wheel drive. It has a special 4-wheel drive which splits the torque between the front end and the rear end. It's a reasonable size, the gearbox, although in the year we change a couple of times ring and pinion ratios to put the big tires, because now we run on
you're on 35, right?
Yeah, sort of 35. They are 83 centimeters. So it's a little bit less than 35, but these are official racing tire of BF Goodrich. They come directly from the States because they're made in the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You decided to build a full race car. From there, you learned.
Exactly.
You got the shell. What went into engineering the race car that you have now? What have you changed? It's changed to a complete race car. Absolutely. What are some of the major modifications you've made to prepare it for the Dakar and the Tunisia Desert Rally for this year?
Okay. So the major modification are in the suspension area. In fact, the engine, it's almost stock. It's a 300 horsepower engine. So I didn't do a big tuning.
Yeah.
The gearbox, except for ring and pinion, has the same ratio. The gear ratio is the same. We just changed the ring and pinion, but we have Formula One quality material used with a special finishing procedure, because when you go very high in ratios, you change the size of ring and pinion, and that makes the material very, very important. So the key issue in the gearbox is the material of ring and pinion, and at that stage we arrived with the perfect gearing. So beside ring and pinion, the gearbox is stock, and the engine is almost stock. The major
incredible
modification.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
The major modification is the filtering. because we cannot use the original filter as it is engineered by Porsche, because it's very effective on the road and a normal driving. But when you are in the desert, the sand is really, really, really bad. It goes everywhere, and it would like just stick on the filter and just destroy your filter, enter the engine, and destroy everything. So we use a filter which are put into excavators, or this this sort of machines which work in the data. And they have like 3 stages of filtering, which makes really the air very clean and perfect for the engine. So going back to your question, what are the major modifications? The major modifications are chassis. So we really strengthen all the area which are weak. And we work on the suspension by changing the architecture of the suspension. Now, instead of having a McPherson, how do you say McPherson? In the system in the front, we have a double A-arm, top and bottom. The same system we use in the back. And these are interchangeable. So front suspension and rear suspension are exactly the same, and they work with the same principle, except that the front, of course, can steer and the back is fixed. So the real big work was done on this, and took me several years to make it work.
You had a unique paint job on this car. What
Yes.
what happened with this? I love the reveal video, by the way. What went into designing this paint job?
Well, the idea came out because after 10 years of having the same library in the car, my navigator, which is new with me because Alberto Vassallo he's an Instagrammer. First of all, it has a super big channel of car enthusiasts, car and plane, land, sea, and air, as it's written on his Instagram account. He said to me, "Listen, after 10 years of having the same library, maybe the time has come to give, to renew something and, to start again. We're starting with a project that starts here in Tunisia. With this, Tunisia does a challenge, and we'll go to the Dakar. So let's do everything new." And I said, "Okay, do you have an idea?" And he said, "Well, I have a sort of idea, but I have a friend who is a designer. Let's ask to our friend Carlo Borromeo, the designer, and he will do something." So Borromeo da Silva came out with an idea. I was absolutely astonished because I was like, "Oh my God, that's very, very unusual and absolutely new in the libraries world." Because graffiti we have rarely seen on cars, and so I was a little bit, shocked. And then I said, "Well, let me sleep one night on it, because the idea is super, but let me sleep one night on it." And in the morning, I woke up and said, "Okay, guys, let's go. Let's do it. Let's shake a little bit. Let's shake a little bit of the world, and let's put something new and some new energy."
I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah,
it's really came out beautifully, really, really nice. So are you going to be racing in Dakar? Are you preparing for that?
Yeah, for the Dakar, the next rally, which will be held in January in Saudi Arabia, we have built a new car because there is a classic category where we applied, and in the classic category, because of the suspension system of my car, they said it's too evaluated. It's too it's not into the Dakar spirit of classic car. So do you have an alternative? It says, "Guys, I have an alternative." And I have a Carrera 4, which was a car I did drive and race many years ago. And it was firstly built and driven by the father of Colin McRae, the WRC rally champion.
Yeah.
So his father was rallying this car, which accidentally I bought like 15 years ago. I did some rallies, and then I left it for 10 years in the garage because I was concentrating on this rally ride races. And so 6 months ago, I said, "Wow, let's make this car live again a new life."
So we're all going to be rooting for you as you run the Dakar Rally. I'm very excited. Thank you very much for taking the time and sharing your story. We'll be rooting for you in your next race, and I love your story. And hopefully, maybe we'll have you back and hear how your adventure went with the Dakar.
Yeah, thank you very much, Douglas. I was very happy to share some info with you, and I welcome everybody that wants to to come pass by the vineyard and the wine cellar, share some stories, come through the Alps, go south, go north, and see my garage, and just exchange ideas and drink a good glass of wine together. So,
well, I plan on coming to Italy soon, so I'll take you up on that for sure. Definitely.
Perfect. Perfect, Douglas.
Well, cheers. Thank you very much, and have a great race.
Thank you very much. I keep you posted with all the news. Bye. Bye, guys. Ciao, ciao. Ciao.